Good morning. This is Pierre Laguerre here, your daily motivator, always here to challenge, inspire, and motivate you. Today on episode 430, are you building assets? And again, I'm not asking if you're building an asset, but if you're building assets. Yesterday, we actually went over celebrating zero. Time to celebrate zero was the title. And I hope you got a chance to listen to it. If you have not, just go back and listen to it, because this is an important episode for you to understand what it takes to reach zero, the place where your liabilities have reached zero and your assets are now producing income that becomes a profit to you. So first off, what are assets and liabilities? And of course, this is not a class in economy, but rather to understand in the simplest terms that an asset puts money in your pocket and a liability takes money from your pocket. It's that simple. If you're building an asset, it's got to be something that you know is going to put money in your pocket. But then there's one more thing to understand. There's different types of assets, right? Now, if you've ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that book came out back in like 1998, 99 with Robert Kiyosaki writing about it, he talks about paper stocks, right? Paper assets, stocks, mutual funds, and all these things. There's also another type of asset, right? And we're talking about gold, we're talking about precious stones, right? Gold, silver. And those are assets that they absolutely gain more value over time. And then finally, you've got businesses. Businesses are another type of asset. And of course, you know me, I'm always telling you about businesses because business is one way for you to, first of all, become the asset in building something, and then eventually create something that becomes the asset by itself. And the reason I share that is because a business requires that you build up front, and you're going to be part of that building process. It's kind of like raising a baby, as I always said. You're raising that child, and at first you are present. Your presence is necessary to grow that child and to help that child get his own wings. But eventually it gets to a point where it takes wings, and now you can go raise another child. You can take from a baby to a toddler, and some folks every year they're popping out another child. But the point is because now they've developed the grace to be able to do it. In the same way with your businesses, with your assets, you can build one big business, a huge business that end up serving you in the long term. And that's probably the best way to approach it. But we understand that the billionaire from Nebraska, I'm talking about Warren Buffett, he absolutely recommends diversifying your assets so that if one class of assets is not producing income for a season, another class is absolutely balancing the sheets and making sure you're getting profits regardless. So this is an important thing, an important approach, an important principle when it comes to diversification. But we're not going there today. Today, my question for you is, are you building assets? You see, if you're building assets, you understand that you've got to build a business. Yes, like we spoke about, at first, you're wearing many hats. You are a small business owner. You are everything in that business. You are doing accounting, in terms of presenting bills. You are doing the technical work. You are doing the vision casting, everything. But eventually, you need somebody to be your virtual assistant, or, if you have a brick and mortar business, someone that can take care of things at that location. But eventually, you want to bring in different folks to wear the different hats in the business. Two guys sat down that had a business together, and then they started naming all the hats they were wearing. And after a while, they looked at all those hats, and they're like, wait a minute, why exactly are we wearing all these hats? And they recognized they were wearing way too many hats, and they could not focus on what they did best. So eventually, they started hiring the right folks to take on those hats, those tasks that they were absolutely doing in the business. Because understand, every part of the business, whether it's sales, marketing, operations, research and development, you have different aspects of the business, legal, right? All these different aspects must be taken care of, especially as you move forward. So financing, right? All those things are important. Look with me here with different types of assets that I wanted to share with you. A franchise would be one type of asset. Of course, we think about Subway, McDonald's, Burger Kings. There's so many franchises that you could think about. Starbucks, right? All those are brick and mortar style businesses. You could also have a parking lot, a gas station. There are many different types of assets you could have. You could have some kind of real estate, right? That's an asset, as long as it is producing income. You want an income producing asset or an income generating asset. Now, what about other types of businesses? And of course, there is the online type of business, e-commerce, and so many others. And in my cheat sheet that talks about the most profitable business model, you will absolutely find it. And I recommend you download it at eonthemove.com/best model. One word, BESTMODEL, the best business model that you're looking for. Just go to eonthemove.com/best model, and you will quickly find the best and most profitable business model of the 5 types that I describe in that cheat sheet. And of course, it's more than a cheat sheet, it's multiple sheets that you will actually see. It's almost ebook size, but I've done it so that you can get the information. Eventually, I'll release an ebook and I'll do a whole video series that I'll sell with that so that people can get the information and delve in a lot better. I'll make even a course around it. But for now, grab the cheat sheet because it's the first level information. You need to know what's the difference between brick and mortar business versus all these different types of online businesses. And of all the different types of online businesses, which ones, right, are profitable for you to do and which one is the most profitable, which anybody can get up today and start making. And all you need is a phone and a computer. You already got the phone, and even without the computer, you can already start building that business. But the point here is this. Once you understand that there are different types of businesses, then you can tell yourself, wait a minute, I could create different types of assets. I could have multiple streams of income. But let me absolutely warn you, start with one. For me, one of the types of businesses that I love is consulting. Because consulting and coaching allow me to work with different clients and help them, right? And of course, that type of business, understand you are exchanging your time for money. Of course, it's different than a job where you probably are stuck 40 hours a week on that job from 9 to 5. Consulting, you can do it on your schedule and your client's schedule. So there's a level of freedom with that. But you and I understand there's a cap there. Your goal is to find out which business has very little cap, if any, that allows you to grow and make millions of dollars. And of course, my mentors in the internet business, they've taught me, and they are making millions of dollars. Some of them are making 100 million plus and have made 100 million plus in the last 10 years. And the reason is because they understood what it took to use that most profitable business model. And of course, if you want to know about it, go to eonthemove.com/best model and grab that cheat sheet, because you will not regret the amount of information that I'll share with you there. And then it will give you an idea of how to approach building your own assets. So again, we talked about time to celebrate zero, but I understand that most people are not at zero, but we need to paint that picture for you. You need to see it as the next stage, because you know what? You have to develop an ownership mentality. You have to see yourself owning things. Like I shared with you, I paid cash for 2 cars, and I tell you now I've only got one of them left because, it's just me with my kids, but it's paid off. I'm not thinking anytime about, what do I have to pay this month on the car? No, I just have to maintain it. And as long as I do a good job maintaining it, it's going to serve me for a long time to come. So now for you, you've got to think about assets. You've got to think about what is it that's going to put money in my pocket? What is it that I can create even with the gifts that are already in me? And I'm giving you a hint here of what's in the cheat sheet so that I can actually generate more income in my life. So I'm not stuck doing 9 to 5 for the next 20, 30, 40 years of my life. So this is Pierre Laguerre, your daily motivator, always looking to challenge, inspire, and motivate you, always looking to bring you to a place where you can think from a higher level, where you can develop your vision and follow your goals. I'll catch you on the next episode. Have a great day.